My name is Gisele Fetterman. I founded the Braddock Free Store and co-founded 412 Food Rescue, and I approve this message. I'm from Brazil. I was born in Rio, and we immigrated to America when I was 9. It was kind of overnight, escaping violent conditions, and it was like my mom gave us a suitcase and said, pack your favorite things, and we're going on a trip. And we arrived in New York, and we didn't speak English, we didn't know anyone, we didn't have an apartment. We learned about this thing called bulk garbage day. We would, walk around at night in New York, and we would come across all this furniture that was just sitting on the curb. So our first apartment was entirely furnished with these items that we found on the curb. And it set this kind of responsibility for me. It was like I needed to find homes for things. And it was something that I carried throughout my life. And it's the story of how the Free Store was born. It was finding new homes for things that still had value.
So what motivates you to do this?
I'm really grateful to live in this country. I'm having the opportunities that America offers, and it's this kind of pain in seeing waste where a problem could be solved. Because these corporations, they all have waste. Whether it's a product that failed their protocol, their high standards, so it was previously ending up in a landfill. Now these items are all being redirected to us, and we're getting them to the hands of folks that need them.
Speaking of the folks that need them, the people who come to the Free Store, what's the process like for them?
So we only have 3 rules. It's be kind, take what you need, and pay it forward. And we don't ask you to fill out paperwork. We don't want your pay stubs. We believe if there's a need, it's an immediate need. If you're hungry today. If you need diapers, you need them today. And people would say, well, how do you know someone is really in need? And I would say, well, because they told me they are. It's a very dignified experience. You come in, you get a big hug. You feel really loved and embraced. And if we have an item that you can use, it's yours to take. My goal was always that in the end, each community would have its own version of a Free Store. And the neighbors that are doing really well can help the neighbors that are going through a hard time. And it continues to build community and inclusion.
Give me a little bit of just a brief history of Braddock.
Sure. Braddock was once a really thriving steel town. It's a town that lost 90% of its population. It had 20,000 residents at one point, and it's now a little over 2,000. Braddock is wonderful. For me, the biggest thing has been trying to show folks that there is such value in these devalued towns and people and things. We all have something really great to give.
I know you alluded to the Free Store. Could you explain what it is a little bit more?
So the Free Store is a decommissioned shipping container. What that means is that it's a container that lived in the ocean for 7 to 10 years. And then after that, it's fired. It's considered useless after that. And it ends up in a landfill of shipping containers. So we purchased it, we parked it in a vacant lot, and we got to work. I cleaned out my closet. I invited all my friends to do the same. And our only expense is our electric bill, which is $26 a month. So for $26 a month, we're serving close to $1,600. We'll get calls from a mom of 3 who says, it's Tuesday and I don't know what I'm going to feed my kids on Friday. And to have that fear and to live that way in America, it shouldn't be that way when we waste 40% of food currently. And in the first year, we have rescued 405,000 pounds of food and fed people with them. So instead of feeding landfills, we're feeding people. We're here to serve you. We're really honored to do so. You just come in. If you have a family that is in need, you can send them to us. If you yourself are, if you have some minutes you want to give away, if you're cleaning out your closet, we can find a way to plug you in and get you involved.
I understand that you give out hugs for free here.
Yes.
So thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
And we're going to look around and
Please
see
do.
what's happening, and we're really excited.
Thank you.